guys, it's Israel from Smooth Trades. I just want to cover my trades for today. Leaving with a $253 gain today. Comes out to about $192 after fees, of course, because I'm using Short Trader, which is a little bit more expensive. So I'm just using this to build up my small account. I have a very small account. It was $800 as of earlier today, and now I'm over the $1,000 mark, so that's nice. But I started this with about $500, so very very small account. Just trying to prove to myself that I can build it up. Today was a good day. There's a couple of reasons why today was a good day. Number one, I picked the right stock and had the right timing, saw the right pattern, all kinds of good things. Also, number two, earlier I picked the wrong stock, or maybe it was the right stock, but just the wrong timing. But I was quick enough to get out for a small loss. So I took two trades. I took trades on two stocks today. The first was CLDR, and that's where I had a small $15 loss. And then the second was PIR, which gave me a $250 win, which after commission and after my first $15 loss, it's going to come out to, 192 total. So we're somewhere around there. So let's look at the first one, CLDR. CLDR, I thought I saw something. I thought I saw a pattern forming CLDR. Let's take a look together. So I'm going to zoom into the today 1 minute time frame. And let's go back to see where I got in. So it looks like I got in around $8.87. So where was that? That was somewhere around here. Cool. So I'm pretty sure what happened, it ended up breaking out later on in the day. I must have gotten in somewhere around here. Thought that it was going to break out around this area, 887, and it didn't. Crashed back down. So I got out, or maybe even here. Most likely either here or here is where I get in. I can't remember off the top of my head right now. But one of these areas is where I got in. I was anticipating a break because this was the high of day previously. So it topped this area, came back down, tried to top it again. And so I was anticipating that break. It came back down. So right here was clear support. This area would have most likely been a better area to get in. But still, it's gone from, $8.75 to $8.86. It's a very, very small, narrow area for profit. If you went in with big size, 3,000 shares and just tried to scalp, 5 cents of a move, maybe you can make $150 or something every time it did that, but it's just not worth it, honestly. So I was anticipating a break right here, and it got to a high of 891 and then dropped back down on the day. So of course, when it breaks this trend line, I'm not going to hold on to it. I just got out for the small loss because it couldn't hold that level. So I moved on to the next stock, and that decision right there is what allowed me to be profitable on the day. Because if I would have held on to that stock, allowed my ego to take over, then I would have taken an even bigger loss. If I would have held on to it late into the day, yes, I would have won because it ended up going up. But you never know that, right? So it would have dropped down, and maybe I would have been a little annoyed and would have gotten out for a bigger loss. So if it doesn't break out, just take your loss and move on to the next stock. There's always another one. All right, so the next one was PIR. Now, PIR is very interesting to me. This didn't really have any news, so I'm not sure why it ran up the way it did today. It went from a low of $4.89 all the way up to $7.20. That's a nice run, and it didn't do it on very much volume throughout the day. It just had huge areas where volume just surged into the stock. It was a low float stock, about 4 million in float, so it's very easy to move this stock. it's very easy to move this stock. So, once traders came in and a little bit of volume came in, the stock took off. And once the stock started to take off and hit some traders' high of day momentum scanners, then other traders got in as well, and that just continued to build the momentum. Eventually, it dropped back down. It still finished the day, higher than it started, so that's excellent. But this was an unexpected stock. It didn't really have any news. It's been downtrending, been in a downtrend on its daily chart for, I don't know, for quite some time now. If we look at the 1 year chart, you see it's been in a downtrend, just going lower and lower. It was at a high of $37 at one point, and now it's at $6.16. Got to a low of $3.04 at one point this year. So there was no real reason why the stock ripped today. I didn't see any news. However, I was watching it because it made this climb from 489 to $6. So I was watching it right around this area, actually. I kid you not. I was watching it around this area, and this $6 area, to see if it could break through. But I was very hesitant because of the volume. It didn't have much volume at all. I was watching it on a 3-minute time frame, so it looked a little bit cleaner, but still it didn't have much volume. So I was right here watching it very closely, and I was hesitant to get in because, in one candle it goes from 568 to $6. That's crazy. That's like 30 cents in just one candle, one 3-minute candle. And then in the next candle it goes from $6 to $5.55, a 45-cent drop. Like, that's insane. So I was watching this very closely, and I was very hesitant to get in because when a stock doesn't have a lot of volume, what can happen is you can be in, and then it can, stay at a standstill. It can stay at 558 for quite some time, and then all of a sudden just jump up to 570 or something like that out of nowhere, and then you're up, $200 or so. Or it can do the opposite, which has happened to me before. It can be at a standstill at 558 for a couple of minutes, and you're just sitting there waiting, watching, and then it just drops down to 530 something, and now you're down a couple $100. So I'm always hesitant with these low volume stocks. However, this one had a nice pattern, right? It was climbing up to break out of out of this $6 area, and then also let's take a look at the daily chart. Let's see if there is anything big here. So $6 we see right around this area. Previously in December was support for this stock, somewhere around $6, okay? I'm not going to be exact on that. So we draw that line. Let's see what that comes out to. Look at that. So that comes out to pretty close to the $6 mark. So right around this area was key for support and resistance. And a lot of traders were watching this. I pulled it up on StockTwits, and a lot of people were watching it. I always like to see where the crowd is. So I was watching it, but still was hesitant to get in. And then all of a sudden, boom, it just rips out. And I mean, it ripped, like I had no time to get in. It just shot out to 615 and then 620 out of nowhere, and then I was like, whoa, that's overextended. If you look at the RSI, when that happened, it just shot up. I was like, I don't really want to chase this stock. But then I regretted that because it ran all the way up to 671. So I was like, wow, that's a huge move. It came back down, right, and then sort of tried to break out again around this 640 area, right? So it had some trouble there. And so I was watching that area very closely, right? So it came all the way back down to 6. This would have been an excellent dip buy. I'm kicking myself for not taking that one. That would have been excellent. I got in at the break of this 640 area as confirmation that it was breaking out again, all right? So I got in here. It rolled all the way up to about 696. Tried to touch 7 and then came back down. So I took it from 640 all the way up to about 670, somewhere around there, 670, and got out there. So I left a little bit of money on the table, and I'm okay with that. I'm absolutely fine with that. I think I got out at 668 actually. Left some money on the table, absolutely okay with that. However, the recognition of the pattern was there. The candle, previous momentum was here, popped up, looked at stock twits. The volume was there for this candle, so I knew that it could happen again. There wasn't a lot going on in the market today in small caps, so I knew traders were looking for something to get into, and this would have popped up on their high of day scanner, and they're ready to get into something because traders are eager, and there wasn't a lot of other things going on. So I knew there would be another big move at some point, and this just happened to be that move. Turns out it had another move, so it came back down to 640 around this area, the 643 area. So that proves that this became support, previous resistance, then became an area of support for the stock, even became an area of support again later on right here for the stock. So that would have been a great dip buy opportunity. This would have been a great dip buy opportunity as well. However, if you look, you see the volume started to leave the stock. You see the volume started to drop. Had a nice breakout right here when it got above 6 the first time. The second time it had a decent volume as well, pushed it higher, and then you saw the volume started to drop. And so that's where you want to be careful and just get out of the stock. I wanted to take my profit because I have a very small account, so taking $200 from the market, I don't want to be too greedy, go back in and then lose that profit, especially with a small account. There's always another day. Maybe on Monday I'll have a better list of setups, so I'd rather save my capital for that. The things to keep in mind are capital preservation. If you don't have money, you can't trade. If you can't trade, you can't make money. And so don't spend too much time in the stock market. If you're up, just take your profit and go continue to build your account. There's always going to be another opportunity at some point, right? This isn't the best opportunity that I've ever seen. And then also, if you do get in a stock and you're wrong, get out as quickly as possible. You want your losers to be small. Again, that goes back to capital preservation. If your losers are big, you have no money. If you have no money, you can't trade. If you can't trade, you cannot make money. It's just that simple. Okay. So I took my profit and left the market. But some other great opportunities would have been, right here for this dip buy, right here for this dip buy. On this one, it climbed all the way back up and broke through 720, but it did it on very little volume, as you can see. So to me, that says that the shorters, because the shorters saw that this had broken out in such a big way previously, I don't think they wanted to get involved with this one. I don't think the shorters wanted to get squeezed out. So there must not have been a lot of people trying to short this stock, which means that as people were coming in to buy it, it's just going right up. There's no resistance, nothing holding it back. And then finally, it's a bit oversold, comes back down, runs into the moving averages that I have here again, and then, climbs a little bit lower. It's still higher on the day. It was at a low of 489. It finished the day around 605. So it still had a great day for whatever reason. I don't know. I'll research afterwards. But, those are some good places to get into this stock. Okay. All right. So what you're looking for here, we can also see that there was a trend line going up. So it touched right here at the low of 489, bounced off of that at 565, that carried it higher, bounced off of it again right here at 597. So this would have been an excellent dip buy. It had two levels of support, one right here at the previous high of $6, and then another at the trend line, so double support right here, and that most likely propelled it higher. It was a great place for people to get in. And then the trend, even continued even further. Let's extend it out and let you see that. So you see it continued here, touched there and climbed higher, and then finally broke there, and that's where it took a dump for the rest of the day, right? So this trend line was a very solid trend line, provided 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 touches today. 4 of those touches provided a great support bounce, and then the fifth one was the final one. It was a good place to get out. Okay, So this was an excellent trade today. It's not an A quality setup. It's just one that worked. I'll be honest. This is not my favorite trade. I'm not super impressed by this. An A quality setup would have had news. This stock, let's take a look and see if it had any news today. No news at all. No news. Nothing happened, so I'm not sure what moved it up. It was a low float stock, so that's a good hit. The daily chart doesn't look good because it's been in a downtrend for so long. It's hard to identify support areas on this stock, right? It's very challenging um, because it's been in a downtrend for so long, and it didn't have much volume. So honestly, this was maybe a C level setup. Like it wasn't great. However, it had a great intraday pattern where it hit a high, came back down, bounced off of this level, created an upwards triangle, broke out of that triangle, created a new high of day, came back down, touched that triangle for support, and the previous high for support, continued to break out, broke above its previous high of day, went even higher, came back down, touched the triangle again, and also the previous high of day for support, and climbed even higher. So this was just a stock that was a great chart pattern. Um, we'll take that. I'll take that on a Friday when not much is moving. All right, but other than that, I don't want to make it sound like this was an excellent setup. It's not. It just happened to work out really well. Um, you want to continue looking for A quality setups. That's what I'm going to continue looking for, especially when I have such a small account, right? All right, guys, if you have any questions, let me know. Looking forward to hearing feedback from you guys, okay? See you later. Take care. Bye.